ever been more proud of anything else more than this. Every day, we bring in students and we try to make them better. Every day, we bring in students and we show them what it means to stand up, to be better, to when you see a wrong, make it right. What I'd like to do first is to have all our survivors who are here, please stand up. Aggie, Adler, Marie, Cal, Tia, Robin. That we have you. I like every docent now, every one of our docents and educators, so please stand up. Everybody should know what you do for day in and day out. Our education team, our docents, each one more powerful than the next. And of course, our educational director, Dr. Christopher Gross. I wanted to thank the team that did this and put this beautiful night together. First of all, Adam Rutner. You've taken the lead. Harriet. Harriet. Where are you, Harriet? Thank you, Harriet. Pat Schneider, where are you, Pat Schneider? These are women that I only have seen. I've only seen them on Zoom up until today. It is a pleasure to see you in person. Thank you for everything that you do for us. And we have Tanya. Tanya! There are no words for what you have done. There are the other room working so hard. So hard for today. We have Alan, of course. Meredith first, of course. The work that Meredith put peacefully into this program. Unbelievable. I also want to thank Supervisor Jen Sena, who actually just left. Delia 3 Winter. Okay, this last name is harder than mine. Mike Gian Gregorio. And please praise is here on behalf of Senator Jack Marcus. Guys, we are going to have a wonderful evening celebrating the best of Long Island. Thank you so much for being here. And I'd like to introduce you to Mary's first.
Better applause, come on. And I'm going to leave this right here so that you have it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Your presence here tonight is so much appreciated. Let's give a warm welcome to our 8 student Upstander Award winners. Shortly and hear from some of them. This special event is a personal favorite for me, and HMTC's educational team, just stand please again, attended by Dr. Christopher Prost and Zachary also was a huge help, Donna, Priscilla, and Emily. When the Clear Friedlander Family Foundation recognizes outstanding student upstanders from all over Long Island, that's what we're all about tonight. And we actually had, just so you know, 33 applicants from Suffolk County and 47 from Nassau County. This year, there were 80 applicants in total. from all over Nassau and Suffolk County, as I just mentioned, and they're from the middle and high schools. Of these 80 applicants, 8 were chosen to receive the Claire Friedlander Award, which recognizes their leadership as upstanders. You might ask, what makes someone an upstander? An upstander is someone who uses their voice and actions to help others, making a difference and promoting positive change. With the rise of anti-Semitism, now is an especially important time to be an upstander and embrace our shared humanity. These amazing students we have here have made notable contributions to their communities. Some have stood up to bullies and fought against acts of hatred. Others helped to raise money to help individuals who needed financial help as well as emotional support. In every case, these upstanders intervene on behalf of another individual, sometimes at their own risk. The students here tonight realize the power of being a caring citizen is when you are not a bystander. I believe that the students here tonight will have a positive impact in their communities to help motivate and inspire others to become lifelong champions of kindness, making a world a better place to live in. Choosing our recipients was really a difficult feat, since we had so many outstanding essays, which were accompanied by letters of recommendation to consider. I would like to thank the following individuals who helped with the judging process. They all read the essays, and we then had to have an intense discussion deciding who we could choose, and it was not easy. So we had from education, Zachary, Donna, Emily, Linda Burkhart. And we also had 2 educators, Gail Castle, who's a docent, and also Harriet Becker, who's been all over the place helping us. From our board, Yolanda Zameka, Marilyn Gesson, please wave or stand as I call your name. Judy Lyman, Brian Moss, David Rosen, Adam Rutner, Eric Ziegler, and Dr. Joe Hallio. Also, could not put this night together without Tanya's help and Priscilla's help, Zachary's help, and Bernie's help. We were really a separate team. And of course, all of this being led by Chris, our education director, Moji, our executive director, and of course, Alan, our chairman. So a big, deep thank you for all of them. And I've also had the pleasure of working with Bali, who's new to our organization, and many thanks to Bali. So at this time, I'd like to call up the people who've helped to make this possible tonight. Kelly and Courtney Klein, they are from the Claire Friedlander Foundation. They're going to speak to you a little bit about their foundation. Unfortunately, Peter Klein could not be here this evening, so he has his beautiful daughters here. Aren't we lucky? Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Myers, for that very kind introduction. Hi, I'm Kelly Klein.
And I'm Courtney Klein. Like Meredith said, we're here on behalf of the Claire Friedlander Family Foundation to present the Upstander Award on behalf of Claire Friedlander.
So Claire was just a young girl when she and her parents went into hiding in Poland to avoid Nazi capture. Thanks to the kindness and upstanding nature of complete strangers who were willing to put their lives at risk to taking Claire and her family, they survived by hiding in this family's barn.
This is the nature of being an upstander, choosing to speak out or take action to help someone else and do the right thing, even when maybe there's no actual value to yourself or there's actually risk to your situation, your life, your stability.
We're honored to be here today in memory of Claire and all of those who owe their lives to the selfless kindness and bravery of upstanders. Reading the essays of our finalists for these awards, we felt inspired and really hopeful for the future. We'll now turn it back over to Maris to introduce the exemplary students who we will be honoring today.
Thanks, Liz.
I'd like to call up to help me with this task of giving the things out, Bernie, my right arm, and my other right arm, Yolanta. I could not do this work that I do all the time without both of your help, so thank you. So, our first recipient from Plainview Old Bethpage Central School District, a 12th grader, who today is going to be getting a $5,000 scholarship. And we have Yoav Muskal. So please welcome Yoav to listen to what he has done as an upstander.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here and to speak here. And a bit of background about me. I go to POB JFK High School. I moved to the US 7 years ago from Israel. And over the years, yes, I've done things, but an event that stood out to me is last year when I did a fall internship and I campaigned for representative, and the campaign I campaigned for became a national, and a name you probably know, we lost to George Santos. And for anybody who lives under a rock, George Santos is a representative who lied about many things, and I feel like it's been forgotten, but he also lied about being the grandchild of Holocaust survivors and being Jewish, and this is the third most Jewish district in the United States. So So, I had already said my goodbyes for the night, peeking at the live news stream projected on the back wall for the last time. I ran out of the Holiday Inn event hall and joined my dad in the car. Usually, if he picked me up from shifts, we talk about all the incidents I had, whether it be the conversations I had from the doorbells, the dog that once chased me, or the rude comments that people had that were honestly more funny than insulting. However, that night, that was election night, I couldn't think of anything to say, and that car ride was silent. My dad broke the silence and he said, "How are we doing? 6 points behind, but we'll catch up." The next morning, with 97% of the votes in, it was basically official. We did not catch up, and the Robert Zimmerman campaign lost to George Santos. Now, flashback. Moving to the United States from Israel in 6th grade, I was quickly drawn to advocacy. When I heard conversations about systemic racism, I wanted to do something. And in 8th grade, I joined a Long Island organization called the Race Racism. And with this organization, I worked towards racial equity on Long Island, which is one of the most racially segregated regions in the United States. Through this organization, I spoke with Columbia at the Teachers College there about racial equity and how to teach in classroom student-centered content. I was furious that concepts such as redlining weren't being discussed in schools. How is this swept under the rug? And this followed me to high school, and throughout all middle school and high school, whether it be my advocacy, extracurricular or co-curricular activities, my Jewish identity guided me. I took part in projects, including leading a forum for educators at the Columbia Teachers College, or starting an annual Holocaust Remembrance event in my district, always with the values of the community I came from. What originally was a fun and meaningful fall internship last year became a personal insult. After spending countless hours in weekday and weekend shifts, even missing school, my campaign lost to a fraudster. Not just a fraudster, somebody who used my identity. In my junior year, when I lost to Santos, I encountered the most anti-Semitic remarks since I moved, before this year. For that year's now annual Holocaust Remembrance event, I felt it was imperative to include a component to educate students and families about the current rise of anti-Semitism in New York. When I introduced this idea, anti-Semitism was reluctant and refused to consider this subject for it being sensitive. However, I continued to push this and to include it because I felt this event wouldn't make sense without it. I believe the Holocaust should not be treated as an isolated event in the past, as anti-Semitism didn't end when the Holocaust ended. As a result of leading this event, I was invited to participate as a student leader at the Nassau County Anti-Semitism Committee's public hearing with local legislators and Jewish leaders. I explained where I thought education was lacking, connecting the Holocaust, which seems distant to many students, to the current issues and rising anti-Semitism. To approach this problem, I proposed that students learn the actual IHRA working definition of anti-Semitism. I argued that whatever students learn in history class is of no practical use unless they can apply it in their daily lives. Instead of taking this loss to heart, advocating for change, helping process this nuisance in a way that helping made a positive impact. Weeks of anger over the Santos loss were transformed into weeks of advocating to local officials. I learned that working with members of my community and focusing on the bigger picture is meaningful to me. And now, before the school year could even begin, in October, I woke up to the unimaginable horror of that Simchat Torah Saturday. Thankfully, my close family was safe. But I lost family members who were murdered or taken hostage. And once I returned to school on Monday, I thought it was imperative for the school to better address Jewish students and to focus at that time on the grieving that Jewish students had. As soon as I heard the announcement, some of you may have heard over the intercom, I left my classroom for the main office to share with administration officials what students are dealing with. After discussions and meetings, school communication and actions improved and became more responsive, directly addressing anti-Semitism when it occurred. Anti-Semitism continues to rise, and I don't intend to stop fighting it and do my part in improving the situation for myself and others. And I think something that's really important when we talk about anti-Semitism and all types of hate is that we address them specifically. When we see generalizations, anti-Semitism being discussed as prejudice or other bigotry being discussed as simply general prejudice, that's not the case. We need to address what comes in the context that it comes, and with that context to address it properly and thoroughly. Thank you very much.
Let's go take a picture. Let's go take a picture.
One more, 1, 2, 3, one more this round. Okay, that's
Let's go. Would you like to check? Like what? And very interesting color. Wow, that's special.
Our next recipient from Cold Spring Harbor School District, 11th grader Samuel Davis, also receives a $5,000 scholarship award. Samuel?
Hello, everybody. Before I begin, I would like to thank some people. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And thank you especially to the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center. Thank you to the Claire Friedlander Foundation. Thank you to Mr. Crane, my teacher, who nominated me for this. And my amazing parents for letting me here. So, a little bit about myself. I'm a junior at Cold Spring Harbor High School. I'm 16. I have 3 sisters who are over here right now, unfortunately. And here's my story. So, I have demonstrated the actions of an upstander by raising money to help support 59 families who had a member killed from the Hamas attacks. The families are the survivors related to all police officers who died in a heroic attempt to protect Israel from an act of terrorism. Like so many other people, I was horrified when I first heard about October 7th. It was unbelievable something so cruel could happen. I knew people in Israel needed help after their lives were turned upside down. What they needed was an upstander. That's why I soon started looking for how to help. I knew it was wrong for me to go on with life as if nothing was happening. On October 7th, I started to hear news from Israel. On October 11th, I had an online fundraiser going. On the very first day, we raised over $20,000. After such a tragic event occurred, it was so good to see that there were still so many good-hearted people in the world. Everyone I spoke to was so supportive of my project. The story grew to a point where the media started to notice. First, I was on the radio with 1010 Wins. Later, a press conference was held at the Nassau County PBA headquarters. There were reporters from Newsday, CBS, and several other media outlets. I was so thankful for all the publicity, but not for me, but for the people of Israel in need. In order to distribute the money, I met with the International Police Association's president for the Israeli chapter, Gal Sharon. Gal is the nicest person, but she was also a police officer for 30 years and can be pretty tough when she needs to be. Early this year, all the money I had raised, over $58,000, was sent so Gal could distribute it to the families. She planned to go one family at a time, talk with them, and give out a check. She met with the first family, which was extremely hard for her. The family showed pictures and shared memories of the fallen officer. Death is not an easy thing to grasp, and it takes a toll on those still alive. Gal met with the second family, which was no easier than the first. Then the third family, more tears. By this point, Gal decided she couldn't go on. There's a big difference between hearing about a stranger who died and actually having their heartbroken family members tell you memories about them. I also learned that the hard way. Gal organized one event for all the families, an opportunity to pay your respects and to distribute the funds. She called my dad asking for him and me to come. I eventually convinced my dad we needed to go, and I'm very glad we did. We finally arrived at the event. There were around 300 people, and except for a few, including myself, everyone had lost a family member, if not multiple. Words cannot describe that room. It wasn't just something seen or heard that I'll never forget. It was the way the room fell. There was a distinct aura to that place. The thing is, it had nothing to do with the actual room and everything to do with the people in it. These people had been through so much. Once I was there, I was sure I did the right thing by raising the money. The event began with a few speakers, and you could hear people crying all around. What came next was hard to watch. A slideshow was prepared with pictures and writing for the 59 fallen officers. We went through every slide and listened to a short writing to remember the person died. I remembered how, sitting there, you could hear babies crying. They would have to grow up and learn why their family has not been complete for as long as they can remember. With a heavy heart, I was finally called up to give my speech. What I wanted everyone to take away from it was how not only were their fallen loved ones heroes, but also the survivors listening. They all were and still are my heroes. At last, it was over, except it wasn't actually. I then spoke with many of the people who had come. One picture my dad took captures it the best. In the picture, I'm talking to a woman, and you could see the emotion in their eyes, a mixture of sadness, hope, anger, thankfulness, and pain. Since that monumental night, I was also invited to speak at the Holocaust Memorial and Talent Center about events in Israel. I ended with how we need everyone's help if we want Tikkun Olam, which means repairing the world. Thank you.
Let's go over there, take a picture. Picture check.
You can't see Courtney again.
Here, real quick. 3, 2, 1.
Our next recipient is from Great Neck School District, an 8th grader, middle school student, Takula King, who is also getting a $5,000 scholarship award. Takula?
Good evening, everyone. I just want to thank everybody for. Good evening, everybody. I just want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to be here today and just listening to my essay. Please allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Takoa King. I am a 14-year-old 8th grader at Great Neck North Middle School. I'm African American and Cuban. I am kind, funny, outgoing, and most of all, I am an upstander. Growing up, 2 of my biggest takeaways always have been people treat you how you allow them to treat you. This lesson means that as long as I hold people accountable for how respectful and kind they are to me, then I can ensure that they will treat me. Okay. That they will treat me how I treat them. The second lesson is treat people the way you want to be treated. This is like the golden rule. This lesson means that you treat others the way that you want them to treat you, no matter how different they are from you. These lessons that my family have taught me have stuck with me and have been the things that set my guiding values and behaviors. As a new student joining North Middle School in the 6th grade, it was a bit challenging considering that I came from schools where everyone is just like me. When I say just like me, I mean the students look like me, act like me, talk like me, and dress like me. The best description of how I felt in the first week of North Middle School can be compared to being in a whole new world. I thought I didn't really have much in common with other students. I felt like it was going to be hard fitting in and trying to make new friends because it looked like everybody hung out in their own small circles. I thought that if I tried to talk to them, I would be invading. As the year grew older, my social studies teacher at the time, Mr. Mongan, encouraged me to talk to people during recess. I took his advice into consideration, and I met a friend. She introduced me to her friends. Ever since then, I met people that understood me, and I didn't feel like an outsider anymore. I've demonstrated the actions of being an upstander by advocating for myself and others in different situations. Last year, I was in a verbal altercation with another student which escalated to a point where he used a derogatory name-calling with me, specifically the N-word. I tried my best not to get upset, and I told him how words like that can be hurtful and how damaging those words can be to people. I decided that the best option to be addressing the situation would be to expressing my feelings with my parents and trusted adults. The situation was solved, and that student didn't say that word to me again, and furthermore, he understood the severity of his actions. Another situation where I was an upstander was when I witnessed a student being bullied and exposed to derogatory slurs related to their identity as a member of the LGBTQ community. I felt extremely bad. I made sure to tell staff what happened to help this student feel safe in our school. I got encouraged to be an upstander because when I think about when I first came to North Middle School, I think about the times where I didn't stand up for myself and it makes me want to stand up for people even more. I feel safe being an upstander in North Middle School because I know that the amazing staff will be there to guide me and always tell me that I'm right in good situations. A message that I have for a person that wants to be an upstander would be to always say something when you see something wrong and lead with empathy. This is something extremely important for an upstander because being an upstander means that you're always standing up for what you believe in is right. And if you're not standing up for against the wrong things and against what you're seeing wrong, you're not being an upstander. Things that I would say to adults that are trying to raise people that are upstanders would be to normalize standing up for the things that you think are right and normalize saying things when you're supposed to stick yourself into situations and not just walk past things that are going on wrong. Thank you for listening to my essay.
Everybody with me? 3, 2, 1.
The microphone? Our last speaker of the evening from Suffolk County Middle School, North Babylon School District, another 8th grader, also getting a $5,000 scholarship award. Please excuse me saying your name wrong. Oyika Ndika. Oh, yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Onyeka Ndika and I'm an 8th grader at Robert Moses Middle School. My ethnicity is Nigerian and Tanzanian, and I would like to thank the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center for presenting me with this award. I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak about making a difference to combat challenges in society. I wrote my essay about how I've been bullied about my race and how I made an effort to initiate a movement. The movement I co-founded in my school is called 80%. 2 of my friends and I believe that 80% of our school were most likely doing the right thing. The movement was started to increase that percentage so that eventually the whole school would be a part of our movement. A student initiative was developed by us to decrease this percentage of students doing the wrong thing, such as using violence, bullying, and peer pressure. Oppressors negatively impact others, and it frequently leads to all sorts of problems. Oftentimes, students who are victims of bullying might not know what to do, and they might result in negative thoughts and actions. We came up with a safe huddle, which are discussions where people can sort out their problems with each other and discuss how we as a student body can increase our school's positive behaviors. Hurt people hurt others, and I want to prevent the loop. I believe that sorting out your problems with each other has a more effective impact than using violence or disrespecting people. As a former victim of being ridiculed for my ethnicity, I truly understand how discrimination and bullying can bring someone down. It can negatively alter someone's mind and make the victim start questioning themselves and believe the negative comments being said. It can make people feel lonely and helpless. At the moment, I didn't know what to do, and it made me feel hopeless because I didn't know how to get out of that situation. It was never my fault to be the ethnicity that I am, and there was no absolute way to change it. I realized I should embrace my ethnicity and be proud of who I am. I told my teacher, and she handled the situation perfectly. Many of my peers don't tell their trusted adults their situation because they're afraid of the outcome and if it doesn't work in their favor. Doing this can result in bottling up your emotions, which might later lead to feelings of resentment towards others. I was elated to co-found a movement to help bring a positive change. I knew that students might be more comfortable speaking to their own peers and how they should combat their issues.
Get as tight as possible.
Tight and to the right.
Okay.
To this way.
Oh,
Your left. Right. Perfect. Look here.
yes.
Here, very quickly.
Now, the next two students, we just want to recognize for them to come up here. Two high school students that came in for second place. Phoebe George from Glen Cove School District, a 12th grader. And Destiny Blackwood from Center Moriches School District, also a 12th grader. These two high school students are getting $2,000 scholarships, education money.
Take a photo. Take your shot. Stand in line.
You're in front. Just around it. You're okay. You don't have to bend down. It's about you.
Oh my goodness. But it's adorable. Perfect. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm sitting out loud.
And our final award winners for this evening from Suffolk County Middle School, Port Jefferson, we have Olivia Andrea from an 8th grader. And from Sewanaka Central School District, another 8th grader, Zanab Chandri. These two students are receiving $1,000 scholarship money. Thank you.
Just duck a little.
Perfect. Yeah.
No ducking.
No ducking.
No ducking for the winners.
Right here.
Everyone else can duck. They're the stories.
2 and 3. Thank you.
This is awesome.
Here we go. And now I'd like to introduce our chairman, our hardworking Alan Lindell.
Thank you so much, folks. I'm going to be very brief.
Thank you so
because,
much.
frankly, we've been here as long as we promised you. We appreciate your attention so much for this evening. Thank you so much for supporting the center. Thank you so much for coming out. And thank you for listening to the stories of these wonderful kids that are making a difference in their community. They embody the Upstander program, which is the education that the center has been doing and centered on its 30 years of existence. Now, we all need upstanders in our life. And I'm going to very quickly tell you about someone who's an upstander for me. And I thought this would be the appropriate moment. There's no award, there's no scholarship, that's all done. And we thank the Claire Friedlander Foundation because they've been doing this. Daughter, they have continued this fantastic work. Without them, none of this would be possible. For many of you in this room, October 7th is a date we will never forget. And a lot of us were hurting in a lot of different ways because of it. Some of it was a distant story, and for others it was more personal. When I was 17, I was a very lucky kid. Instead of going to 12th grade, we finished in 11th, and a bunch of us had the privilege, really, of spending a year in Israel in a school called BMT. You call it Beit Midrash LaTorah, or we used to call it Best Meal in Town, or Basketball Means Torah. Either way, it was a really fun place to be. And I went there, and the gentleman to my right, Dan Horowitz, went there as well. And someone else who went to that school is a name you might be familiar with. His name is John Pollan. You may be more familiar with his son, Hirsch. It has been 227 days since Hirsch went to enjoy a peace concert and had his arm blown off and has since lived 227 days in hell. I don't have to tell you what that's like for him. And I'm sure for many of the parents in this room, I don't have to tell you what it could only imagine it would be like for his parents. And for those of us who went to the same school as John, we feel it too. Technology is a wonderful thing. And a WhatsApp group was created of all the BMT kids. I want to tell you what helps me wake up every morning. And not just me, hundreds like me that went to BMT. You see, the first buzz I hear every morning is a text with a picture of the prayer that Dan Horowitz just made every day for 227 days on behalf of every one of us. And I don't know if any of us could get out of bed if it wasn't for him. So please give me a moment to express the thanks that I feel to Dan. Dan, thank you. Now I need you for one more second, because Hirsch's parents asked for something that a lot of the hostage parents have asked for. They simply want to see it said and how many people are behind them. Because when you have your kid that you don't know if he's still alive or dead, tortured, or if you'll ever get him back, all you want, you don't care about the politics, you don't care about the stories, you just want him home. So for those who would like, I ask you now to all stand and with me say, bring Hirsch home now. Bring Hirsch home now. Thank you. You know, this is a great event. We've been doing it for a long time. With people like Peter Klein, he made it happen. He went to the essence of what we did. It could never happen without Harriet. And so many here. And the work we do, and you saw Bernie for 10 seconds, the guy never stops. He did the marketing here, and the guy like all the dosages here, there's more dosing classes than anything you can imagine. And we wouldn't exist without the executive board, people that are here tonight, like Rob and Yolanta, Maris, and Michael Traeger, who's in Israel. And all of our board members, you'll see their name tag today, please raise their hand. We would be nothing without them. But there's an elephant in the room of a question that has to be asked. And I don't want to leave it unasked, so I'm going to present it and answer it for you. And the question is, that people keep asking me is, you guys do Upstander education. You're not a Jewish charity. You don't just focus on Jewish kids. Why are you relevant? I don't understand. Why are you standing for so many people that may not have stood for you when we needed it now in this last year with so much anti-Semitism, so much Jewish hate? Why are you continuing on your mission? You stood for all these people. How many people stood with you? Well, the first thing I want you to know is there are people that stand with us, okay? That's the first thing you need to know, and many of them are in this room, okay? Yolanta, Jack, you guys have been board members for what, 10, 20 years? Yolanta, 30? Thank you. There are some very righteous people that are in this room that have always stood for everybody. They're my role models. They did it on their own. Give them a round of applause because they deserve it. The other answer is this. The people that hate us, that hate the life that we are proposing for everyone to have, a pluralistic world where we all can have tolerance and love for each other, regardless of the color of our skin, our sexual orientation, our race, our religion, our background, our ethnicity, our origin, our nationality. That desire for a more pluralistic and tolerant world is under attack. If you go to the essence of what is being attacked today, it's not just Jews, it's a way of life. It's a Jewish philosophy that was referred to by another speaker who said, we're here to heal the world. Tikkun olam. It is at the essence of everything. Now, the people that hate us have taken so much, have hurt us in so many ways. But they're not going to take from us our philosophy and our ability to live our life in the society that we have deemed to create. We will not let it stand. They will not change us. They will not force us to hate the man and woman next to us, regardless of who they are or what they say. They don't get to choose that for us. They can say what they want. It will not matter. It is our job to love everybody and to stand up for everybody. And with our dying breath, I promise you we will. God bless each and every one. Thank you for being here tonight. And God bless each and every one.
Hi, I'm Moji Pourmarati, and I'm the Executive Director at the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center in Glen Cove. What we do is we try every day to make the world a little bit better by teaching people that the past, even in its ugliness, when learning about it, you can decide to be a better person. You can decide to be the kind of person that doesn't allow for it, that stands up, that says, not on my watch. That's what we try to do every day. We have thousands of kids who walk through our doors every month with that goal in mind. And when it finishes, we ask them if they're going to be an upstander. Are they going to stand up when the time comes? And that's what today is. That's what tonight is. You have hundreds of people here, and we are celebrating Long Island boys and girls middle school and high school students who have done that, who have stood up, who have become leaders, who have guided with good and have strong moral compasses and are going to be our leaders of the future. We got to read through their essays, every one of them more special than the next, every one of them more outstanding than the next. And we are so very happy that we are able to give them a little bit of something through the Claire Friedlander Foundation. A little thing to keep them going and to say, you have been recognized for being something special, for standing up, and for making the world a better place. That's what tonight is. I hope that everybody's here is having a great time. It's a very special evening for all of us here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Phoebe George. I'm a 12th grader, and at my school with my theater program, we did a production of the Laramie Project, which is a show known for its anti-homophobia themes and based on the true story of Matthew Shepard's hate crime. We wanted to do, even though just doing the show itself does spread the word to our community about how important it is to support gay and trans people in our lives, we wanted to go a step further, and I, along with my director and my GSA coordinator, decided that we wanted to run a talkback panel where we would get members from our community to talk about, specifically with the recent anti-trans legislation, to talk about why it is so important to create a safe space for our community for queer people everywhere so everyone can be their true selves. Through this, I was able to talk to Matthew Shepard's father, Dennis Shepard, who to this day continues to advocate for gay and trans lives. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Yoav Muscal. I'm from Plainview Bethpage John F. Kennedy High School, and I received it for my work against anti-Semitism and racism, and it's an honor for me to be here and to recognize these important principles and these important actions that we must undertake now, especially of all times with the rise in anti-Semitism and prejudice.
Hi, my name is Takoa King. I'm here because I won the Upstander Award for standing up for what is right and advocating for things that should be improved in North Middle School and things that I feel like should be improved in other areas as well.
I'm Samuel Davis. I'm a junior at Cold Spring Harbor High School, and for this award I raised $58,000 for the families of fallen police officers in Israel after the October 7th attacks. And this award means a lot to me. It means that the people in Israel are being recognized for the struggles they're going through right now, and I'm really glad I could help them.
Hello, my name is Olivia Andriani, and I'm representing Port Jefferson Middle School, and I have been honored to receive this award tonight, a $1,000 scholarship from the HMTC, and it has meant so much to me receiving this award. I wrote an essay all about what it is to be an upstander in the world today, and I was inspired by Dr. Fershpan. He came to my school and did an amazing speaking, and I was just so inspired by everything he had to say, where we have to be so creative in the world today and think outside of the box with the ideas that we are going to have and to share with other people and what we are going to do to make a difference. And I believe that your voice is the most powerful quality that a girl or boy could ever have, and it's just everything that you say does count. Your voice does matter, and you have to be kind, you have to be courageous, and you just have to be you, Think everything that you want to be in the world today. And this award means a lot to me, and that I was heard. My voice was heard, and yours can be too. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Zanab Chaudhry, and I'm in New Hyde Park Memorial High School. I am so thankful to be getting this award, and I wrote an essay to get this award about how I was an upstander and how I stood up for a girl who's getting bullied for her identity. And I just would like to say that I'm so thankful to receive this award and to have the honor to get this award. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Destiny Blackwood, and I'm from Seton Bridges High School. To receive this award, I wrote an essay about all the leadership things that I did in my school. I do help a lot with my student leadership. I'm the director of leadership there. I started a non-for-profit called Using Our Voices with other students. We raised over $15,000 with our first mental health run series, 3 series run on Long Island. And to get this award, it does mean a lot to me because it shows that, like, you have to use your voice to get places.